Today we're going to be looking at geometric shapes. There are four definitions that I want you to know about geometric shapes that make something a geometric shape. The first thing is geometric shapes all are simple closed curves. Simple closed curves does not have a point of intersection, meaning there's no opening. Do you see how there's no opening to them? That would make these all simple closed curves. The next one is a polygon. A polygon is a simple closed curve, meaning no opening, made up of line segments. Do you see how on these ones there's no circle? Well, that's because a circle isn't made of line segments. It's made of curves. So we have, all of these have line segments. The third one is a triangle. Now this is a polygon, meaning it has line segments, but it also has 3 sides, only 3 sides. And then lastly, a quadrilateral. I don't know if you know, but quad actually means 4. So a simple closed curve that is a polygon has 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different quadrilaterals that we're going to look at. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the geometric shapes. Here's the thing about geometric shapes. They call them one thing, but they're actually more than one thing. For instance, all 4 of these shapes are actually called quadrilaterals. Because if you remember, quadrilateral means 4 sides. How many sides do they each have? 4. So they're all quadrilaterals. But they each have a special name. This one is called a parallelogram. The reason why it's called a parallelogram is because it has parallel sides. These 2 sides are parallel. Hopefully you remember what parallel means from Friday. And these 2 sides are parallel. So we're going to write parallel sides. Okay, parallel sides. Make sure that you're writing this down in your folder because you're going to need this information. Now, a rectangle, well, if I look at a rectangle, doesn't a rectangle have parallel sides? So guess what? A rectangle is also a parallelogram. Okay? So it's also a parallelogram. Did I spell? So shapes have a name, but they might actually fall into more than one category. For instance, all 4 of these shapes are actually called quadrilaterals. If you remember what a quadrilateral is, it has 4 sides. Well, all these shapes have 4 sides. But then they have special characteristics that give them a little bit different name. So for instance, this is a parallelogram. Now a parallelogram has parallel sides. So these 2 sides are parallel and these 2 sides are parallel. So it's called a parallelogram. So we're going to put that it has parallel sides. Okay, so this is a quadrilateral, but it's also a parallelogram. Now look at a rectangle. Doesn't a rectangle have parallel sides? Now let's look at the rectangle. A rectangle is a quadrilateral, but look at its sides. Isn't it also a parallelogram? So I'm going to write that it's also a parallelogram. Now, what makes a rectangle though, is that it has 4 right angles. Right angle, right angle. If you remember, this was a sign for right angle. So it has 4 right angles. Next, we have our square. Now, if you look at our square, it's a parallelogram again. So it's a quadrilateral that's also a parallelogram because look, parallel lines, parallel lines. So I'm going to put that this is a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram. But look at its angles. Doesn't it also have 4 right angles? So it's also a rectangle. But then what makes it a square? Well, what makes it a square is that it has 4 equal sides. If you see, this line that I put indicates that each of these sides is the same size. This is a rhombus. Now, some of you have seen a rhombus turned the other way, and we call it a diamond, but its technical term is a rhombus. Now, if I look at this rhombus, doesn't it have parallel sides again? Guess what it does? So we're going to say that it's a parallelogram again. But does it have right angles? So it is not a rectangle. But guess what? All of its sides are the same. So it has 4 equal sides. Interesting. Trapezoid. A trapezoid has what? Oh, but it only has a pair of parallel lines. So a parallelogram has to have 2 sets of parallel lines. So let's change this to say 2 sets. Okay, 2 sets of parallel sides. A trapezoid only has 1 set of parallel sides. Okay, 1 set of parallel sides. That's what makes it a trapezoid. That's it, 1 set of parallel sides. So let me go ahead and clarify these shapes. All 4 of these shapes are quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral means 4 sides. A parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides, but it's also a quadrilateral. A rectangle is a parallelogram that has 4 right angles. A square is also a parallelogram, which is also a rectangle, but it has 4 equal sides. A rhombus is a parallelogram that has 4 equal sides. And a trapezoid is a trapezoid does not follow any of these other descriptions. So a trapezoid would only be considered a quadrilateral that has 1 set of parallel sides, so we only call it a trapezoid. Okay, for number 1, we have to decide if it's a simple closed curve or not. Is this shape a simple closed curve? Yes. Is this shape a simple closed curve? No, it is not. That's actually 2 shapes. Is this shape a simple closed curve? Yep. Is this weird shape a simple closed curve? Yep, no openings. Is this shape a simple closed curve? Yep. Is this shape a simple closed curve? Nope. Do you see how they cross? It said no intersections. For number 2, give all the names for these shapes. This is kind of like what I was doing on the board. We're going to name everything that these shapes are. So, is this a simple closed curve? Yes, this is a simple closed curve. Is it a polygon? Remember, polygon means line segments. Yes, this is a polygon. Is it a triangle? Nope, because it does not have 3 sides. It has more than 3 sides. Is it a quadrilateral? Yep, 4 sides, which means quadrilateral. Is it a parallelogram? Does it have parallel sides both ways? Yep, parallelogram. Is it a rectangle? No, doesn't have right angles. Is it a square? No, that has to have right angles as well. Is it a rhombus? I think it's a rhombus. Okay, letter C. Is this a simple closed curve? Yes, simple closed curve. Oh, curve. Is it a polygon? Yep, polygon. Is it a triangle? Yep, triangle. And then that's it. Okay, letter D. Is this a simple closed curve? Yep, simple closed curve. Is this a polygon? Yep, polygon. Is it a triangle? No, it doesn't have 3 sides. Is it a quadrilateral? Yep, quadrilateral. Is it a polygon? I already said that, didn't I? I meant to say parallelogram. Is it a parallelogram? Nope, because these 2 sides are not parallel. Rectangle? No, because these are not right angles. Square? Not even sides. Rhombus? Nope. Trapezoid? Yes. It is a trapezoid because it has parallel sides on one set of sides. Okay, is this a simple closed curve? Yep, I'm going to abbreviate SCC. Is it a polygon? Yep. It has straight lines, line segments. Is it a triangle? Nope. Quadrilateral? Yes, because quadrilaterals have 4 sides. Is it a parallelogram? Definitely a parallelogram. 2 pairs, oops, spelled parallelogram wrong. 2 pairs of parallel sides. Is it a rectangle? Boom, it's a rectangle. Okay, last one. Simple closed curve? Yep, simple closed curve. Polygon? Yep, polygon. Quadrilateral? Sure is. Parallelogram? Yep, parallelogram. Good job.